You don't know me well enough, stepbrother. You do not know me well enough.
All right.
Mel's badass. Stepbrother. Oh, are you stuck too?
Well, it's the East Coast. Let's get some Coke going and have a show. Welcome in, everybody, to the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for drinking. Thanks for
suffering succotash. I am Greg. Clearly, English is always easy for me. I'm being joined by the buffest guy in all of beer, and that is Flex.
Yeah, I came in a little early on that one.
I've heard that complaint before, but I won't hold it against you.
Deal.
And then joining us all the way from the East Coast, where apparently it's nice and crisp outside, unlike here where it's the fucking devil's ballsack. Beergirl Melissa, what's happening?
It would seem that my Darth Vader breathing has got you a little bit worried, Han Solo Greg.
It's got me worked up, that's for sure.
Sorry about the breathing, everybody.
I like that.
I'm glad English is as hard for you as it is for me. So.
I'll just be holding my breath in between takes.
It's always hard.
There's no standing up on the West Coast, let me tell you. So sorry, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. All that good stuff. All right, find us on the socials. Craft Beer Republic, Flex Me Beer, _ in between. And, of course, Beer Girl Melissa, _ between girl and Melissa.
That's right.
Because you fuckers love underscores.
It's the only way to separate it out,
Well,
you know?
I guess so.
Yeah, it makes it look better than like.
Well, you know, I
everything
thought I
together.
had it easy with Erica and Neck Nosh, and then like a month ago, she went and changed her shit to Neck _ Nosh _ LLC, and got ice cold beer with underscores, and I'm the only one without underscores. I'm either the coolest one in the room or the least coolest one in the room.
Yeah, you need to jump on the underscore train ASAP.
Everybody,
please.
welcome to Kerr _ rip. Yeah, I don't know.
That's too far.
We'll call
Too
that
far.
an edit point and just get the fuck out of there. So much to get to tonight. Oktoberfest is just a couple of days away, and we're drinking for the occasion. We've got a Ludicrous Libation Law straight out of Germany. We got some booze news to talk about. And hey, if there's time, we're going to run down some Oktoberfest fun facts.
Ooh,
Hey, I like the sound of
There's a lot
that.
of fun facts, yeah.
I love...
I love some fun
It
facts.
turns out that like Flex and I are very into like games. So
Okay.
every morning we play a couple of games together.
That sounds a little weird when you say it like that.
Flex. Don't tell them about those games, but tell them about the brain games that we play every morning.
Oh, brain games.
The brain
Yeah.
games. Yeah, we got
the Upperhead.
They got me hooked on the Wordle
I'm on Wordle.
and the Hurdle.
Oh, I'm on Hurdle too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck. We
and,
should share our Wordle hurdles.
Get on
Yeah,
it.
I'm totally down for that now. And sometimes we'll do the Worldle
And the
I don't
global.
do that. I don't do that either.
and the
I don't know what
Global.
you're talking about.
And now we just discovered a new one
Frame,
called Frame,
which makes no sense. Where's the LE?
where they show still shots from movies, and you have 6 guesses to guess the correct movie from the still shots.
I feel like Flex is good at that one.
The first time I tried it was today, and I didn't even see the movie,
okay.
and I guessed it right.
Yeah.
So-
That's what I'm saying. You're a weird movie guy. Like, you get all the quotes that no one remembers. You're a lot like our friend Dan. Like, Dan just pulls those movie quotes like just straight out of his ass. It's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Like page 86 on that script.
Yeah, but it's like the small moments that you really gotta reel in the movies. It's like those small quotes that you'll never forget, but nobody else on the planet will remember. But it's always funny to
Ever.
you.
Yeah.
You know, so you could like say it in your everyday life and laugh to yourself because you're a fucking idiot,
Well,
and nobody else will ever know.
well, speaking of fucking idiots,
Intro Mel. Da-da-da-da. Here I am.
because I
Finally made it.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of fucking
Technology
idiots,
was on my side of
this
apparently,
fucking
at this
idiot.
point.
Oh my god. Yeah, Mel was supposed to be on last week, and I guess her kids like chewed on the USB cable. Or
Yeah,
something,
you know, they
or-
just kind of
Is that
jam
what happened?
things in. It's like a square peg in a
Oh.
round hole that doesn't quite work.
puberty or
Because you can't jelly
Yeah.
things in.
you.
And then they
There's a
blame
difference.
people that aren't there. Like they're like under the table, like he did it, she did it, like up there in the corner. Like I'm like, there's nothing there. Like, no, there's someone there. They're the ones that did it. I didn't do it. Wasn't me.
Oh, so your house is haunted, is what I'm
Apparently,
hearing.
my daughter actually did tell our little cousins that came to visit for the weekend that today that we have ghosts, and now they're never coming back.
Oh.
So thank you, Juliana. You executed it perfectly because little kids are really hard to deal with. They are scared as shit.
That is perfect. Like whenever there's people over that you just are done with, just send her out.
I mean, I love them so much. I love my family. I'm just not used to like small children anymore that cry all the time and wear diapers.
Yeah, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah, that's a lot. Crying. No thanks.
Greg's doing it right.
Cry enough at night.
Yeah. When I'm by myself. All right. Anyways, the whole fucking idiot thing. Let's find out what that fucking idiot's drinking over there.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
What is he drinking?
Well, in celebration of Oktoberfest starting in Munich in what, like 3 days? It's like
Yeah.
September 17th.
It's a great.
I
Day.
believe that is correct.
I am drinking from my boys Phase 3 Brewing because they're fucking phenomenal, and especially all the lagers that they throw out there. So I'm drinking their Oktoberfest German style lager. On the old Untapped, it has a 3.86, which I think is a pretty incredible score for an Oktoberfest beer.
I guess, but why can't Oktoberfest hit 4?
Well,
Marzens are great.
And that's why I'm thinking 3.86 is basically a 4 on this bitch, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think
guess.
it's based off of style. I think there is some kind of like standard deviation, but like, can we all agree that Untapped is bullshit? And it's also American based.
Yeah.
So like, I think most Americans in the
Yeah.
craft community these days are looking more for like American style IPAs, hazies,
Hype.
and
Yeah.
doubles and triples. And anyway, bring it back to the roots. The Germans fucking are amazing at brewing beer, and they're the ones that like practically almost started it. So let's hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, right.
Guten Tag, fuckers.
Yeah. Untapped here says rich malt character with balanced hops, toasted bread, and subtle earthy hop aroma. Look at this color. I mean, that is just gnarly caramel.
Textbook.
Holy shit, perfect.
Yeah.
When you poured this out too, it had a
You should put that on Untapped.
I know, holy shit,
perfect.
perfect. I always write stupid stuff when it comes to Phase 3 because they just get me going.
I love Phase 3. Thanks to you.
They're just phenomenal.
In fact, you sent me this one last year, their October.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Damn, I don't
Delicious.
remember that. Well, anyway,
Well, you did.
on the old schnoz, tons of that toasted bread on the nose, man. It is just fresh, daddy like.
Fresh.
Um,
Oh, daddy.
so I already warmed up the tongue jobber, and we're gonna dive in
You
here.
saw that.
Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, you did.
Mm.
It's the one time I wish this was a video podcast so people could see you.
This is what
warming
like this
up
is
the
what
tongue
I
jobber.
do is video. So that's why I'm like it's weird that it's only audio when I hear my voice,
But you can
but
see
not
yourself.
when I hear yours.
So yeah,
I'm used to.
big malt presence. You know, that's natural on Oktoberfests. You get a little bit of the caramel notes, the toasty breadiness. There's a good amount of carbonation up in this bitch, and man, I could just drink these all day. 100% could
those.
drink these all day.
Love it.
I could just stare at it too. That color is just
It's a
phenomenal.
sexy beer.
I
I just want to let everybody know that I looked up the translation for daddy into German because I feel like this is important for today's episode.
it's Faja.
Well, that's father.
Oh no,
but
that's Dutch.
That's yeah.
Oh yeah, but daddy specifically, not dad, father, like daddy, which I'm surprised they had a translation for, is der Vati, V-A-T-I, der Vati.
Dervati.
Yeah, der Vati.
Dervati like.
Now that we've creeped out any German that might be listening to
You
the
know
show,
what? I'm thinking we're gonna start charting in Germany after the show.
I would say
I think we're
you
gonna
are
we're gonna
probably
start
not right.
taking over the entire continent of Europe.
You're good. Yeah, we already got Finland.
I was like, it's happening.
And the
Finland
UK.
is happening. You've got the UK
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah,
it's
look
not a
out,
stretch.
Germany. Guten Tag, we're coming for you.
Dervati's coming for you.
Here
I mean, we've
comes
learned from
Dervati.
Global that it's actually Germany's pretty close to that area. So
That's
you do
true.
it.
Yeah.
Maps are helpful.
Yep.
All right, very good. We're all drinking Oktoberfest themed beers, so we'll find out what the rest of us are drinking. A few. First of all, a couple of things to talk about. I hinted towards it last week. Mel was definitely part of that show last week. Have you? I was talking about I briefly mentioned that we took a trip and blah blah blah. Have you guys ever gone on a trip that you like pulled the ripcord on and went home early on purpose?
Ooh, you know what? I think I've never done that.
I mean,
I have.
technically we did like a one night stay. We were gonna do a one night stay somewhere, and then we pulled back because somebody wasn't feeling well.
I don't think that counts. I think you have to be like in full swing of the vacation and be like, "That's it. I'm fucking done, and I'm out of here."
Yeah.
No, I can't say that I've ever done that. I think I just stick it through even though it's shitty, and then I'll come home and be like, worst trip ever.
That was the
I'm
worst
never going
trip
back there.
ever.
And this is why. Blah 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 blah. And everybody's like not listening anymore. I'm like, I don't care. Blah, 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 blah.
No, we lost you a half hour ago.
Exactly.
Well, we had that trip that we actually, this is the first time we ever pulled that ripcord. Like it was a nice long weekend. We're like, you know what? We're going to go up to the mountains. We found this little town in the middle of the mountains, and we thought we're going to go. The wife really wanted to go. She found it the last time we took a trip. We ended up not going there. We went somewhere else. She really wanted to go to unplug. And I'm like, hey, I'm all for unplugging. Like, that sounds great. So we booked it and we got up there. The house was fine. It was Airbnb. The house was fine. Nothing wrong with the house. It was exactly as described in the posting. So no hate there. It was little. And it had no air conditioning. And we're in the middle of a fucking heat wave. And when we booked it, it was supposed to be like at max low to mid 80s. And by the time we actually got up there, it was 90s to 100. It was like really hot. No AC. We brought extra fans to like try and make it better. The beds were super uncomfortable. Outside was gross. It was like hot. And I was like, you know what? It'll be fine. We'll sit on they had a nice little deck that overlooked like a nice little foresty area. We'll sit out there. We'll get drunk. It'll be a great view, whatever. The bugs were insane. We were just getting fucking attacked the entire time. We're spraying bug spray and had like the candles and everything. We're still getting attacked. It was miserable. Like we couldn't sleep because we're just sweating so much.
Ugh.
So we were supposed to leave Monday. Saturday night, we were a little hammered. And I floated the idea. I was like, we could just go home. And the wife was like, well, but we've already paid for it. I was like, yeah, I know. And like, look, I'm not all about just throwing money down the drain, but at the same time, like, I'm also not about sweating through the night. I mean, it was so hot. All we were doing was watching TV on the couch. I was like, you know where we could do that? We could do that at home with our bigger TV and our air conditioning.
Boy, that sounds nice.
Right? And we could sleep in a bed that's comfortable. And so we left a day early. We pulled that ripcord and we left a day early.
You drain poured your vacation. I love it.
My vacation was a fucking habanero sculpin, and I dumped that shit down the drain.
I mean, it sounds better than my vacation this summer, which was having COVID and closing my blackout curtains in my room. So
that was my wife's other vacation. We were supposed to go wakeboarding, and then she got COVID, and instead we stayed at home.
I couldn't escape it. Apparently,
yeah, it was the worst.
Sucked.
So, yeah, but anyways, the best part of the trip was we left early, and we drove through a town called Santa Clarita out here in California, and we stopped at Pocock Brewing. And I've had a couple of I said Pocock Brewing. I've had a couple of their beers before a long time ago, and I'll tell you, I was not impressed. It was at a festival, and we decided to stop in because it was the only brewery in the area that had food. We thought we'll give them another shot. It's been a few years. We stopped in. We had a flight plus a couple pints and some food. And it was actually pretty good. Most of the beers we had, we actually really enjoyed. Which leads me to this topic. Please, breweries of any size or age, do not bring your garbage leftover beers that you're trying to dump to a festival. I know what you're thinking. I'm doing this for free. It's a donation to the fucking Kiwanis Club or whatever. But I didn't drink your beer for like 5 years because I thought you were shit because you brought your leftover kegs to a beer festival.
Yeah.
Bring the goods.
Word. I want that fresh beer. I want the beer that nobody's going to be able to get at the brewery. I'm going to stand in line patiently, and I want the good stuff. I'm with you on that. Hugely so.
I'm not saying you got to bring your most fruited sour or your biggest, hoppiest, hoppy triple IPA, but just bring something fresh and good, because legit, I had your beer at a festival. It was garbage. I didn't go back for years. Just bring your good stuff.
I know. Yeah, that does happen. You have a bad experience with a brewery or a beer, like from a brewery, it's kind of hard to give them a second chance. If it's really that garbagey, you're like, this is trash.
I'm
Done.
100% on that level.
Well,
Yeah.
and it was like really.
There's
that
so much beer
garbagey.
out there. There's just no reason.
Yeah, it was bad, and but this experience was good. So clearly they make some good beers. I don't know if brewers have changed over the years, or anything else has changed over the years, or if they just brought their old ass trash beer that they were trying to dump because it was an event where they were donating beer.
I think that's probably the rationale. Like, it's cost effective. You have to get rid of it anyway. So
well, and I get it, because a lot of those events where it's not like a big known beer festival, people just come to get trashed. Like, I know, like, Firestone Walker Invitational, like, yes, we got trashed, but also we were there to try all the really good breweries that were invited by Firestone to be there. That's like a beer nerds festival. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
People come to those, like, donation charity ones to get shittered because it's $35 and all you can drink. But also, it cost me not to go to your brewery for like 5 years.
And that's a lot of money. Like, and especially if you feel that way, how many other people feel that way as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of reminds me, I had a situation. It's like putting good brewery beers in dive bars and letting them sit because, nobody in dive bars wants the new hazy IPA on tap. They just want the Miller Lite and the Bud Light and the, so then somebody like me comes into said dive bar for a fantasy football draft, sees, hey, wow, you have this local craft beer on tap. That's amazing. I'll take it. And they pour it to you, and it looks like a Hefeweizen. And you go, oh, hey, what beer is this? And they go, oh, it's
their Pilsner.
It's a hazy IPA. And I look at them with the biggest shit grin, and I go, oh, okay.
I'll take a Bud Light.
And then
Are
I
you
walked
sure
away.
that's not the yeast strain that's just sitting in your line, sir?
Yeah.
I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So
I'll pass.
Like, sir, have you cleaned your line? Have I what now?
They don't know nobody knows how to clean their lines, first of all, unless they're like trained. Like, if you're going to a dive bar, just forget it. Like, do yourself a favor. Go the Bud Light route. Just do it.
I
or a
wasn't
Budweiser,
even
a
going
heavy.
to drink. I wasn't even going to drink there. And then I had seen that they had a local brewery on tap, and I said, you know what? I'll have one. He'll go and do one. And I regretted every second of it. But then if somebody actually goes in there and they get that beer, like expecting it to be like, hey, I've heard of these guys.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wow,
I'll try it here.
this is bad. And then it gives that brewery bad rep because people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
True. It was like a few months ago, I was talking about, we were at a dinner and the wife ordered a beer from 14 Cannons that we are very familiar with. And she got it and it was trash. Not because 14 Cannons produces a trash beer, but because that thing was probably over a year old and sat in some dirty lines.
Yeah.
It's not a good, and we know what it's supposed to taste like. So it's not like we're going to hold it against the brewery, but it's like, if somebody had never had that brewery before and that's their first experience, they're not going to go.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a rough world out there.
Luckily for me, I live in the craft beer epicenter of New York. So, like most places that serve craft beer, like if it's a restaurant, like they're very, very adamant about keeping the craft beer exactly what it should be. So I've never had that experience. And I think if I was at a place that I was kind of unsure of, I would probably just get like a Tito's and soda with a lime. I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that. Let me tell you.
I can't do the vodka. Vodka makes the room
it
spin
fucks you
for
up.
me. Yeah, it fucks my shit up. But I will go
safer for me than craft beer is, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. If I'm going liquor, I'm going whiskey or bourbon.
Ooh, I'll die. But
Let me just-
I'll probably
let me just
still do
tell
a
ya.
shot with you.
Everything fucks me up.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Flex. Basically, when you have muscles like that,
Yeah,
everything kind of fucks you up.
Yeah.
Just go straight to the guns.
Doesn't metabolize like it should.
No. And as you get
Yeah.
into your later 30s, it really starts to slow down the metabolization.
Yeah, just you wait, big fella.
Yeah.
Just you
Lots to
wait.
look forward to.
Thanks for calling me big fella.
Big Daddy. Or
Wee Willie.
Dervati.
Dervati. Just you wait, Vati. Anyways,
Big
all right.
Vati.
Big Vati. And now I got to look up big in German. Before we get any further, let us find out what Oktoberfest beer Mel is drinking over there.
You know, fellas, maybe training alone on a rooftop drinking ram piss isn't the way to go. Maybe we should get out there and mix it up with some randoms, you know?
That's a smart idea, college boy.
Go test our metal.
Yeah, challenge somebody. Challenge ourselves.
Hell yeah! Let's get bombed!
Sorry, I had to.
That was perfect for me, actually. That is exactly my intro music.
Can I just say real quick? You touched on how I always remember those stupid quotes from movies. I say, let's get bombed whenever I go out drinking. And it's always because of that fucking movie. I've seen it over 100 times.
I haven't seen it in so long, but I was like, I need to pull that clip for this.
Thank you for that.
So good.
Yeah. Anyways, Mel.
So today I am drinking Wallenpaupack Brewing Company Oktoberfest. It is a Marzen, 5.9% lager brewed with Munich malt and noble hops. I was fortunate enough to have them send this to me, so thank you,
heyo.
Wallenpaupack Brewing. If you don't know, like Lake Wallenpaupack is in Pennsylvania, but it's not far from where I live. It's maybe 25 minutes. And it's kind of like an ocean lake. Like, that's how big it is.
Okay.
You take your boat out there, you can really have a good time, and it kind of feels like you're on the ocean. Like, waves are, like, serious. So
if you're drunk, you like gonna get really fucked up out there.
Well, my boat's docked on a really small lake, and there's just a lot of boat traffic, and it's annoying. But this is, like, widespread, so you could just be on your own. But, like, the natural current or whatever makes the waves happen, I guess. Like, it's pretty wild. But this is a really dark color compared. I know. I'm like, stop talking, start drinking.
Yeah, that is really
this color
dark.
is really dark. I was kind of surprised when I poured it. I wasn't expecting it to be as dark as it is. Still, like, nice clarity to it. Lot of malt on the nose. Huge amount of malt. We'll give it a little sip.
As it should be.
It does have that really nice sweetness that you would expect when you have that much malt in a beer. It's good. It's not bad. It's very drinkable, and I probably could have 2 or 3 of these and be satisfied with that.
Well, pros.
That's kind of saying a lot.
That you can have 2 or 3?
Me being able to drink 3 beers would probably be good. So I can't read it, though. I don't like rating beers.
You lightweight. Don't read. It's fine.
I don't rate.
All right. I've got a Marzen to get to here in a couple of few. But first, Ludicrous Libation Law. This one coming from Germany. It's illegal to ride your bicycle while, overly hydrated. Not only will you lose your license, you will also be ordered to undergo an MPA, or a medical physiological assessment. Like, they don't fuck around with your drinking while biking.
While biking, yeah, that sounds like a pretty serious hazard. So, like, you lose your driver's license or your biking license?
Your driver's
license. Boating while intoxicated is a thing here in the States as well. So
no, they
you
said
can lose your driver's license.
Biking, right? Not boating?
Biking,
no, I know, but
Oh.
I'm saying, like, here. We were just talking about boats, so.
Oh, we did just talk about boats.
Yeah. So, like, you'll lose your driver's license if you're, like, operating a boat. Bike, I know there's a lot of different things that you can lose your license for when operating even mechanical
machinery,
wheels. Doesn't have to have an engine. You just need to, like,
it's true.
Show lack of brain usage.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a DUI on a bike or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of shitty. It's like, hey, you know what I'm not doing? I'm not killing other people. Like, let me kill myself on my bike on my way home. But
yeah,
I would say it's the safer route. But still, to lose your driver's license from that's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I don't know where, like, if it's the whole country.
Apparently, from what I read.
Because if you think about it, like, bikers in New York City are insane. I always wonder how people can, like, operate their bike. I recently did New York City Triathlon, and I had to ride my bike with all of my gear.
Yeah, right.
No big deal. Swim in the Hudson, so what?
Now you're radioactive.
I am so. But when we were riding through traffic, I was like, oh my gosh, like I always thought these people were crazy because they weave in and out of the cars like psychos. And I'm like, this is really could be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So I guess maybe I can kind of see a parallel because I'm sure like certain like cities in Germany are probably very heavily populated with a lot of traffic. And, you know, I get it. You got to get like some trouble, but I don't know. It still seems a little off.
Yeah. Well, and back to your whole boating thing, like that's the one time I don't fuck around. Like when I'm out on the boat, like I'm not getting drunk. Like people get drunk on boats and do stupid shit.
Yeah.
And,
totally. That's the whole premise of boating. You just got to have one sober person and everybody has to take a turn. Like
I'm always that guy. I'm always the sober one. I'm always the driver. I'm always sober.
Yeah.
It's not worth that on a boat. You die so fucking quick.
No, and honestly, like the lake that we are docked on, like there's been a lot of traffic, like from people from New York City, and we've had some drownings in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Wear a life jacket, people. PSA.
Seriously, and don't be super hammered out there. That's all you gotta do. Anyways, not to bring the mood down.
Yeah, let's bring it up a little bit.
Change it.
Let's change it. Let's talk about Flex's hood over there. Milwaukee Brewing Company is going to be purchased by Chicago's Pilot Brewing Company. Apparently they're going to like foster new breweries and like startups and help people learn to be a brewery. Essentially.
Well,
are you a fan of Milwaukee Brewing?
I mean, they had one of like my OG beers, like when I first got into craft. I was a big fan of amber ales, and they had Louis Demise, which was a fucking mega malt bomb.
Great name.
Oh yeah, it was great name, great beer, great label. They did a few other beers that I liked. Didn't love anything else from them, but they came out with good product. They had great beer tours. That emo concert I went to where I got the black eye, I was crushing a bunch of that
was a great episode, by the way.
Yeah.
That should crack me up.
They had some double IPAs at the venue from them, so me and my buddies were crushing those all night. It's probably
no wonder you didn't feel.
I was probably why I didn't feel the.
I have no idea why I had black eye.
Punch or the hobo, whatever happened. Who knows? But
who knows?
It's neither here nor
fucking
there.
Macho Man off the top rope over there, right to your face.
Yeah, right. I wish.
Oh yeah. Well, look out for all their whatever breweries they'll be fostering.
Well, yeah. My big question is, they were up for what, $150 million?
Was that what it was?
It was either 150 or 250 that they were starting at.
Yeah, I don't know the final sell price.
Yeah, so that just makes me really curious that Pilot Brewing was able to.
It's a big space too.
Finagle that.
Yeah, so they apparently know people in the right place.
Can I interrupt really quick?
Please.
Flex, did you know that there was like 35 counties out of the 50 counties, like the drunkest counties in the United States, are all in Wisconsin?
Yeah, that's every.
And yours is like one of the top 10, I hear.
It's an every.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thing.
I don't know, but like 35 are like
Flex's
straight up in
house is in the
Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Like every year, it's like the drunkest cities or counties always.
What else are you gonna do?
Yeah,
it snows most of the year, and
we just drink a lot, and we have like a lot of bars per. What is it?
Well, you guys have like morning bars, right? Like you you get off of work at like 6 a.m. and then you go to the bar. And it's all Midwest. All 50 of them were in the Midwest.
Yeah,
I'm surprised my county didn't make it.
Your county?
Yeah.
You're not in the Midwest.
No, exactly. But there's a lot of drunks here. Just assumed.
Well. Especially that house.
So in Wisconsin, we do have bars that open up at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So like when you get off that third shift, you know, whatever your 11 to 7 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., or like, you know, all your cops at work, the overnight shift, they get to go out of work and they get to go get hydrated right away. So pretty normal thing here.
Is there a lot of industry there, I guess? Like, are there a lot of factories still in like Wisconsin where there would be like a lot of third shift workers, if you will?
There's some areas of Milwaukee. Okay. There's this big foundry that does parts for NASA and space shuttles that is located in Milwaukee County, and that's a big, you know, third shifters realm, and Lots of bars down that main street.
So go get hammered with the nerds from NASA.
Yeah, well,
So what you're saying
7 in
is
the
that's
morning.
why they can't get the launch completed because people from Wisconsin are getting trashed.
I don't know.
Because the
That's why the
Wisco kid
crabs
can't
keep
figure it
happening.
out.
You know what? I still blame
Shit.
NASA, and let me tell you, Shania Twain was right. You think you're a rocket scientist? That don't impress me much. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I think we'll use that as just a tool to move right the fuck on. 'Cause,
Yeah.
wow.
Move on from this. How do you even
No,
recover from that?
I don't know.
How do you even
That was
recover?
good, right? That was
Hey,
good.
hey, Mel.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a woman?
I always feel like a woman. The only time I feel like a man is when I rip my callus off of my hand lifting. Other than that, like everything I am a woman, honey, through and through.
I don't know any
Those are
other.
the two
I would
Shania
say I don't
songs
know
I
any
know.
other
Yeah.
Shania Twain songs. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I'd drop another reference for it.
I just that was my library right there. This one I pulled for Flex. A new study shows that young people purchase alcohol solely on package appeal.
I mean, it's part of my-
100% agree.
Part of
I
my
know it.
algorithm. I'm not young anymore,
I mean,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
But the
I
algorithm.
think
But the algorithm, yes,
the algorithm is
it all makes sense.
it's a staple now for I think most people that listen to the Craft Beer Republic. We listen and we're like, okay, like does it flex?
It should be a fucking
bit
tattoo on your
flexy.
arm.
But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like, if the packaging doesn't draw you in, like, how are you going to notice it?
Yeah,
And then-
If you've
100%.
never had the beer before.
And because most like millennials and younger people now are like, this has got to look good for the gram or like TikTok or what I'm
Mhm,
doing. I can wear, I can match my outfit. I mean, look at what we do in the beer community. Like we are legit matching whatever the can shows us.
Yeah,
the label.
We're idiots sometimes.
We're so stupid, but like some of
I
us
made a whole
do
fucking
look.
duck hunt video. I
That
mean, how
was
stupid
so
am I?
good.
That's awesome. I love that.
It was really
But
good.
Took
I
way
think
too much
I
time.
think like always, you know, it's like when people say like, oh, you know, like don't read a book by its cover. No, the first thing you see is the cover. Of
Yeah,
course, that's going to draw you in. So
If
I
you have a
agree with
shelf
that. I
full
just
of
hope that they're,
cans, yeah.
yeah, I just hope they start to like research a little more and like look more into the beer once they start
Yeah.
getting into it and be like, all right, let's find a cool can and good beer inside of the
Yes.
can.
Yes.
That's what I would like.
The 1-2 punch,
Hmm
if you will.
Yeah, it's necessary. You learn that in your 30s.
Yeah.
But that also
Um,
makes sure the ABV is worth the money. You know, it's
Right.
a 1, 2, 3 punch.
Right.
Yeah.
And you hit your 30s and you stop drinking those Bud Light Necks. I mean, what can I say? That's the way it goes down. Ugh. All right. Before we get too far into the news, let me talk a little bit about what I'm drinking over here. It's so German. I am drinking Heater Allen, which I've never had before. Heater Allen Brewing's Marzen, 5%, has 23 IBUs, a 3.82 on Untapped, and an 88 on Beer Advocate.
Right on.
Nice.
They say this is a lighter, lower alcohol version of our popular fall seasonal Bobtoberfest. I love that name. Crisp and malty, this beer is delicious and incredibly food friendly. I will say I got this from Tavor. So shout out to Tavor.
You love
You guys can see it
Tavor.
looks a lot like Flex's beer in color.
Yeah.
It's got the caramely.
It's
and
gorgeous.
see-through. I have to be perfectly honest. On the schnoz, not the best smell in the world. You got the sweetness that you expect out of a Marzen, but there's like this tinny smell that came along with
Maybe
it.
it's
Luckily that didn't.
I would say maybe it's an old can.
Could be. Luckily that is there a can by date? I'm not seeing one. Luckily
no,
that
Tavor,
flavor.
you'll never find a date.
I do a lot of times, but luckily that smell did not translate into the flavor because that would have been really, really disgusting. Look, this is your typical Marzen. It's sweet, it's malty, it's lower ABV. You could crush them all day. There's not a lot to say about it. There it is.
Love it.
I mean,
Love
we
it.
all did just have Marzens, right? Nobody had a fest
Yeah.
beer.
I mean,
So-
Marzens are Oktoberfest beers.
Yeah, it's
So-
like
A fest beer is as well, though. Like they're two
Well, I
different
mean-
styles, no?
Yeah, they are. But when people say like, I'm going to have the Oktoberfest, it's a Marzen.
Right. But I think it's based on like the area, right? Is it the specific
Could be.
location in Germany, like that it's brewed, that it can be called a Marzen or Fest? Or is it how it's brewed. I don't know the answer. Do
I
you?
believe
Well,
it's
we gotta ask
How?
Bierkowski. She's the scientist.
Yeah.
Oh, Rach would definitely know
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Nerds, please call in 805
Yeah. Let us know. You're really
Tell us
into
how
German
stupid we
styles.
are, please. All right, back to the news. Drinking in another state is a beer collaboration, not unlike Black is Beautiful and those type of beer collabs, that is raising funds for beverage and alcohol workers who must travel to other states to access abortion care. Anyways, over 40 breweries have already jumped on. Unlike the Black is Beautiful collab, they are encouraging you to come up with your own recipes and donate to the
I love
cause.
that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not like one beer at every brewery. You can basically do whatever you want as long as, you donate to the cause when you brew it. Anyways, I just thought it was cool. I hadn't heard about this yet, and already 40 breweries across the country have jumped on. So
Who
Good on
came
you,
up with the
beer world.
concept, Greg? Who came up with the concept?
somebody
You
who
don't
was
know?
a better journalist would have found that answer for you before the show.
Oh, Greg, you
But-
always have the answer. I'm kind of
But you're
shocked and
stuck
appalled.
with me. Yeah, sorry.
Tune into next week when Greg actually has a list of where it came from. I
Tune
think
in
that's
next week.
amazing.
Greg will forget by then.
No, I love
That's
when
fine.
breweries get together for causes like this, and especially something as large as what this is.
It's nice to see the beer world doing some good.
So
That's for
important.
Doesn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
get you drunk.
But it should. And then do
it's
something
like an
good
added
too.
bonus.
Both.
Yeah, it's an added bonus. So, all right, two quick ones before we wrap things up here. First of all, Untapped check-ins have revealed in the last couple of years consumers are drinking earlier in the day than they were before.
Well, do you think that's accurate? Because sometimes I'll check in beers and it's like, oh, I forgot to check that in last night. So then you'll go on your Untapped in the morning and then check in whatever you drank the night before. So then it maybe just appears that way.
Now, here's the thing. You could be correct, but also this started to turn in 2020. So I'm wondering
Oh,
during
yeah.
during lockdown, people are just like, fuck
100.
it. Here I am, lunch break, working from home.
That's
And how
true,
many people
man.
are still working from home where they're like, oh, 2:00, I can crack a beer.
Got a
So I
2 hour
still work
2 hour
from home.
meeting.
At work, obviously, I'm a nurse, but I know, like, on my days off, like, for sure, like, that kind of gotten engraved in me a little bit is that I can drink earlier.
Go to
Yeah.
the,
So I can do my, like,
the local
responsibilities
bar
and still wake up
for lunch
early in the
and
morning.
have a beer.
Yeah.
My lunch dates. Yeah.
I mean, Flex takes himself to lunch, gets burger, fries, and a beer every Monday.
Every Monday.
I do the same thing
Every Monday.
Love it.
if I'm off on Monday. Mondays are like day to like
Like a
have a
self-care
day date with
day.
ourselves.
It's do you
Yeah.
day, like,
Yeah. Do you, boo? Do you
I
on a
didn't even know
Monday?
about that, Flex. I just
or do you want to?
okay. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Greg's like, I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Don't get to do that kind of stuff.
How
but
dare you? I work 9 to 5:30.
oh, yeah.
You
Sorry, Greg.
son of a
Yeah, me
bitch.
too. Yeah, working for the man. We'll end it with this. Some fun facts about Oktoberfest. It just seemed fitting.
Woohoo.
The very first Oktoberfest was held on October 12th, 1810
That's sick.
in Munich, Germany. Yes. Over the past 209 years, Oktoberfest has been canceled only 24 times, and I must clarify this article was written in 2019, so it does not include COVID.
So 24 or 25 times.
Yeah, and for
Maybe
reasons
6.
like cholera outbreaks or war, they say. Yeah, I think they canceled
Wait,
two,
did you say
right? In 20 and
cholera
21? Oh, not-
outbreak?
Yeah, 2021
Yeah,
was
cholera.
canceled.
Man, that's so Oregon Trail.
It is. Brittany died of dysentery. The festival makes the city of Munich $1.43 billion in tourism money every year.
Completely believe that.
Yeah. 6.3 million people attended Oktoberfest in 2018, but the most attended festival was in 1985 when 7.1 million people showed up.
Is that because the Bears won the Super Bowl?
Maybe so.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
They were there. They were rapping on stage.
Shuffling at Oktoberfest.
Yeah. There are 38 different beer tents, and some can fit as many as 11,000 people.
Into
Uh,
one beer tent?
That's a big ass beer tent.
Holy
Talk-
crap.
Yeah.
That's
talk
a
about
whole
COVID.
festival here.
Right. 1.98 million gallons of beer are consumed during the 16-day festival.
That's hot.
Yeah. Over 101,000 beer mugs were confiscated from patrons trying to sneak them out in 2018.
Oh, so
People
you
trying to
can't
steal
do
their
that.
shit. I guess not. I guess you got to buy official ones or something.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You still can't take them home even after you buy them?
I don't know about
Yes.
that. I think you're discouraged from stealing them.
Yeah.
Over 510,000 whole roast chickens and over 60,000 sausages are eaten at Oktoberfest. A lot of sausage. In 2018, 840 passports, 460 wallets, 350 phones, and 300 keys turned up at the Lost and Found.
Wow.
You guys keep your shit together.
Get a fanny pack.
Right. Wouldn't look that bad
Number
with
one
your,
rule.
with your lederhosen. You might think it's a bunch of tourists, but 70% of attendees are actually from Bavaria, Germany.
I would go if I lived there, right? Wouldn't you?
Of course.
I would assume so. I
Yeah.
think so.
I'd love
Unless
to
you
go to
were over
Oktoberfest.
it. You're like, I'm over this tourism.
I guess,
bullshit.
yeah. Like these fucking Americans keep running our
Yeah.
celebration.
Stop coming here. We don't want you.
Yeah. And then finally, for Americans, it's not so cheap. The estimated cost for an American to get to Oktoberfest is $5,000.
Yeah, that's a
There you
lot
have
of
it.
money.
I mean,
That's a
I
lot of
think if
money.
you're staying, like, you would probably stay for 7 to 10 days.
You'd have
Right?
to.
So, Flex, that's cheaper than your Disney vacation. What are you
That's
talking
true.
about?
I've
Let's
been
go
to
to
Disney
Germany.
World. That is cheaper than Disney.
Let's go to Germany.
Che-
Yeah.
Leave the kids behind. We're leaving. Let's go.
Let's go. 3 of us. You know what we should do? Let's go to Finland and the UK and then
Yes.
stop off at Oktoberfest.
That's pretty legit.
I'm into
Yeah.
it.
I'm
let's
very
do it.
into that.
Gas up the jet.
Still your number
We're
one
going.
fangirl, always and forever.
Let's
Yeah.
gas it up. Let's go. We'll sneak you in some suitcases.
I'm very small, compact. I
Right,
can do it.
She's
Hopefully
tiny.
you're flexible. Just
I'm
stuff you in there.
not flexy, but
Tuck and roll. Here we go.
Give me an air hole. Just give me an air hole so I can breathe.
We'll just put like a straw through the zipper.
Probably be better than the breathing on this podcast from this microphone. It'll be less.
I like how
breathing-
out of
breathing
everything,
is
that's what
fine.
made Greg laugh tonight.
I
Unbelievable.
know.
No,
Yeah.
Greg was like, I'm very unimpressed. You're very
I'm a tough egg to
boring.
crack.
You're snoring. I do have to tell you guys a really quick story that has
The
nothing
show
to
will
do with
never
anything
make
we're
the
talking
air.
about. Speaking of air holes and breathing, we talked about, I know, I just brought up a story, but
I can't
I
wait.
talked about the boat. So one day I am laying on the dock. It's pre-kids. I'm reading a book.
Is it a big duck?
And then all of a sudden, I feel like someone's watching me and I kind of hear breathing. Like I look around, I don't see anything. I'm like, okay, Mel, you're crazy. Go back to your thriller book. I start reading again. And sure enough, I'm like, I definitely hear breathing. And I look around again. I'm like, why am I hearing breathing? Third time down back to my book. All of a sudden, there's like 100-year-old snapping turtle head in my face. She was coming up for air and just like breathing. I was like, holy shit.
That's creepy.
This girl was 175-pound snapping
Holy
turtle
shit.
that I had to call Lou. And I was like, please help me. I don't know what to do. This dinosaur is going to chop my head off. So just also, if you are on those lakes, and you're boating, be careful to those turtles because they last a long time. And they breathe
Apparently.
really heavily in your face.
Well, at least you can hear them coming.
It was really scary. I was like, why is that? That's exactly how I sounded this whole
Yeah.
podcast is how she sounded
said-
in my ear.
Yes, it
Yeah.
sounds like Mel on the show.
Like-
Perfect.
I know.
We should name the turtle Mel.
I
I mean,
love it.
basically,
Yeah.
it's wild.
You
170,
Your breathing is
175-pound turtle. That's crazy.
that is a huge ass turtle.
he had to get help to get her out of there, and he released her somewhere else, and she ended up coming like on the other side of the lake. She ended up coming back and just making her bed again. I was like, well, this is her
This
house.
is where I
Like,
sleep.
who am I to say? Just don't
That's
breathe
so
in my
funny.
face.
Oh dear. Well, with that
Random
turtle
stories
story,
for
I
no
guess we should
reason.
hit some music and wrap things up
Yeah.
over here. We will say hi to Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
And we'll say thanks to Mel for hanging out with us and for making her computer work.
Yes, and for all the technical difficulties.
Exactly. One of my
I'm a
favorite
country
drops of all
girl
time.
in a big country
Living
world.
in a lonely world. Oh, wrong song. Thanks for hanging out with us, Mel. Please come back more often with less technological problems.
I'm going to buy myself my own mic set and like.
Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's crowdfund Mel's microphone.
That won't be hard.
Follow her on the grams at Beergirl Melissa _ after Beergirl. Follow Flex at FlexMeABeer _ in between. Of course, Craft Beer Republic and craftbeerrepublic.com. Don't forget to call us 805-538-BEER. And I hope everyone is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.
And Beer Girls out.